Well, welcome or welcome back, everyone. My name is Debbie. This is the Mind, Body, Soul Evolution and our air signs. So, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is your reading for Mercury retrograde, which starts on the 26th of February and moves all the way, takes us through the 20th of March. But I will tell you, you will feel this through the end of March. Yes. So, let me get to my notes. So how are our air signs? So Mercury station, it goes retrograde, and today's the 25th, so tomorrow, and when this video will be available. And Mercury does not like being it's in the sign of Pisces. It does not like being in Pisces. It's in its detriment. So when you combine that Mercury is not happy in Pisces, it's stationing retrograde in the middle of the eclipse portal. Right, we're in the middle of the eclipse portal during the year of the fire horse, with Aries taking on two major planets, Neptune and Saturn. Yeah, what could go wrong? Air signs, I just remind you that don't believe everything you think, and don't let the thoughts in your mind run away with you. This transit of retrograde, especially now, is the first one of 2026, and it's going to be a bumpy road. You know, there's always challenges in communication. Technology seems to take a dive. Transportation and travel. We have cancellations and delays, and so give yourself grace. Give yourself plenty of time. And if you find, and this is for all of us, but if you find that the words coming out of your mouth are not the words you intend to say to someone, maybe just stop. Maybe just say, we'll revisit this in April when the whole retrograde phase is done. But here's the thing, it's going to be challenging, but these challenges are really meant to bring us into awareness. Right? Awareness as to where we really want to be. It's going to slow down the process of life. And it's going to bring us where we want to be, or remind us. So Mercury retrograde, the RE words like rest, renewal, rediscovery, releasing the past. And in this phase as well, unresolved things, issues, pains, discrepancies from your past may make their way to the surface. And this is not a personal attack on anyone. It is because you've been holding on to these things for way too long, and it's time to look at them, find out what the lesson is, and let them go. Or you can choose to carry them around and then not get to your destination or to your goals in life because we all have choice, because you've chosen to continue carrying this. But I don't think you want to do that. And our air signs, you're very forward thinking, right? You're very much in your mind and in your logic, and you can kind of talk your way around things and out of things. But the thing is, you have to go into the healing phase, which means you have to go into the acknowledgement and into the truth place and into the feeling in order for these things to be released. So let's get into this. I know it sounds like a lot, but at the end, it's really about, like, what do you want for yourself? And everything that we want for ourselves requires us to move away from the things that we don't want. And the things that we don't want are the things that are in our way. I know, right? We have two decks today, the Moonology deck, and we are using today the Wandering Star Tarot. I have not used that for a while. So we will start off with, hello, Gemini, how are you? And let me take my glasses off and let's see if this is any better. And we'll see what the cards, what is the Mercury retrograde these next 4 weeks hold for our lovely Gemini friends. And again, it's going to feel really bumpy. I would stay away from the news and social media, especially if that is a trigger for you. Now, always, I'm a firm believer in knowing what's going on and what's happening, but not letting it get in the way of where I'm taking myself. So, and plus, everything you hear on the media is not always true. They give you bits and pieces, right? So let's not get caught up in that. So Gemini, what does this Mercury retrograde hold for you? Know you are loved. New moon in Libra. So your sister air sign, right? Know you are loved. New moon in Libra. Very interesting. So if you have Libra friends, maybe catch up with them. Maybe it's a good time to kind of catch up with your Libra friends and say, like, how you doing? Like, I'm feeling like a little lost. And Libras will bring you back into balance and harmony. But Libra, just make sure you don't do too much and give too much of yourself away, because a lot of the signs are doing a lot. So what does the tarot hold for our Gemini friends as they realize that they are loved? And love isn't always this big physical relationship full of passion and heat and all that other stuff. It's about spiritual love as well, and loving yourself. And that has been a really big lesson and message for a lot of the signs, is loving yourself. So let's see what the tarot holds for our Libra friends. And we have the High Priestess, but of course you do. And you have the Knight of Wands, and you have the Queen of Cups. Let's see what else. We'll pull 9 cards, unless if more want to come out. Although yesterday I was doing earth signs, and one of the signs did not get 9. They only got 8 for whatever reason. I don't know. And I just kind of have to leave it be, right? Whatever comes out is what comes out. Okay, you have Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Cups. So that is also about balance, because earth and water balance each other out. And you have the card of New Moon in Libra. So that is balancing energies as well. 2 of Wands, 6 of Cups. We'll pull one more, and then we'll see what's on the root of the deck. Okay, you got 2. And on the root of the deck, Gemini, 7 of Pentacles. So 7 of Pentacles. What are you working on? And is what you're working on, is it worth it to continue to move forward? That's the foundation of this Mercury retrograde for you to take a look. Do you continue working on what you're doing? Are you getting like a reward for your hard work, or like, or not? Are you not feeling it, and maybe you need to take a different direction? So, what are you working on, and is it worth it? Let's pull over all your cards. 8 of Wands, Ace of Wands. Oh my goodness, the Creator. Let's see. This deck has 2 extra cards, and 1 is the Creator. So you have. And that's a really high energy card. If you have the Creator and you have the High Priestess. So the High Priestess, the Knight of Wands, Queen of Cups. And again, when I talked about know you are loved, it's also about loving yourself. So the High Priestess, right? She is the ultimate divine feminine. She is the counterpart to the Hierophant. She has direct connection to her intuition, to the universal wisdom and knowledge. And she's here to remind you that you have that connection. And in that connection is where you find what true love is. I know we think true love is our partner and the things that they do for us, and they are acts of love. But ultimate true love is that within your soul, that is the universal force. And she's here to remind you. Let me see that card. You have, and we all have the ability to tap in and tune into the higher self. Right? Knight of Wands. And again, this is passion, this is fire, this is flow. So what sparks you? What is lighting you up, Gemini? Not in the mind. Just get out of the thinking mind, go into the intuitive space. Queen of Cups, again, this is like loving yourself or moving through life, leading with your intuition and doing the things that you love to do. And if you're doing things that you don't love to do, then maybe it's time to take a look and see what you're doing and what you can stop doing or what path you can change. You have Eight of Wands, Ace of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. You have a lot of divine hierarchy, female energy. You have the Queen of Cups, the High Priestess, the Queen of Pentacles. So it's kind of like you know who you are and you know your worth. It's allowing yourself to actually feel it and lean into it. Okay, Queen of Pentacles, right? She's very independent. She is self-made. And again, you have the Seven of Pentacles on the root of the deck. The question I put out there is it what you're doing, is it worth it? Are you starting to see the rewards for your hard work? This is telling me yes, that you're going all the way to the top and securing your future, feeling comfortable, finding the ability to take on some luxuries, right? And the things that make life easier. Eight of Wands. So once you tune in and you start to realize that you are loved and that you should be loving yourself, things move very quickly. It's like the floodgates open and the water, although Wands is a fire element, and she has a bow and arrow in her hand. She's not Sagittarius, but this is Sagittarius energy. Things move very quickly once you start, and it's not, again, you can't bypass this, Gemini, with your mind, with your thoughts. You can talk yourself in and out of anything, but you have to get into the place of knowing. That is your intuition. That is your third eye. That requires stillness. It requires meditation. It requires closing your eyes and taking 10 deep breaths 3 times a day, or a couple times a day. It requires, if you really want to affect change, to put reminders on your phone with an alarm. That's what I do. I have reminders on my phone, and then I have an alarm to back it up. When the alarm goes off, the reminder is there, and I do whatever it is I'm planning on doing. Whether it is remembering to sit still and to place my hand on my heart and feel the heartbeat inside my chest, knowing that that is the gift called life that I've been given. Whether it is, I'm still on eye drops for my eye surgery. I have a bunch of alarms for that, to take my eye drops. Whether it is like, oh wait, I've been on here too long, I need to get up and go out for a walk. And you can choose to put those reminders. And again, once you choose, things go very quickly. Ace of Wands. You start to get a new understanding or a new zest, or even they're telling you a new love for life, or a new love and spark of fun. You have Two of Wands. You have the Ace of Wands and Two of Wands, right? The things moving forward. Ace of Wands, right? New beginnings, new opportunities that are, again, they're lighted up with some passion. And fire and air are opposing elements, which means they are balancing and harmonizing elements. They can get a little tight, but they can also harmonize, which is what they're supposed to do. And on here, let me see if I can read this. I think I would not need glasses after eye surgery, but sometimes. And yeah, career, beginnings, travel. Although I'm not getting a feeling about a career change, but it could very well be. Two of Wands, right? So twos are choices. It is partnerships. It is alignment. It is, and if you see, like, she's got the North Star above her head, which is your inner compass, your guiding light. And she's got the two wands, but they are completely parallel. So again, that is you know, these are the choices that we're making, and they are aligned choices. Like these wands are completely aligned with one another. So making choices that align with the future that you want. 6 of Cups, right? And I love this card. You know, this is about harmony. This is going back to when life felt simple. When we didn't have the confusion, when we knew, we didn't have to question whether or not we are loved. Like we just knew it. Our parents, our friends, our relatives, whatever it is, we were very free of saying, you know, free to say, like, I love you. Go back into that time where you heard that over and over and over again, and let that be your mantra. The Creator. I am going to read the book on this because this is, if I can find it, this is one of the cards that is, if I can find it in here, that is a card that's not part of the traditional Rider-Waite. So how interesting that you got this card. And let me see if I can find it. If I can't find it, because it's, okay, let me see. Here it is, the Creator. The Creator card, and here it is. Can you see that? The Creator card signifies that there is a powerful energy brewing in the atmosphere around you. It may feel overwhelming and tinged with undertones of darkness. Instead, you may feel the urge to run and find shelter from the storm, but trust that you are ready to transmute this force into something that will propel you forward on your path. And this is all what the Mercury retrograde and this whole year is about. This card is also here to remind you of the power of the word no. No to things that overwhelm or undermine. No to thoughts that drag you into despair. Right? Again, you're an air sign. You can very easily manipulate your thoughts. You are mightier than you think, and a glimmer of faith paired with solid intention can give you the power to harness lightning. Each day you have a choice to be the victim of fear and circumstances or the creator of a new consciousness. You get to choose. So are you going to continue to believe that you have no say, no autonomy in your life? Or are you going to stand up and say, no, this is my life. I get to create it. There's a whole new awareness and creativity stirring within me. I am the High Priestess. I am the Queen of Cups. I am the Queen of Pentacles. I am making choices that are aligned for me. You have the Seven of Swords, right? Which is, where have you been dishonest with yourself? Where have you not been truthful with yourself? Or where have maybe you decided that you're not worth moving forward for, or that you're not worth being the ultimate part of you? I'm going to be doing a video. I have stuff written out as to how to take these readings and put them into play, and what really this whole life thing is about. But that will be a separate video. Gemini, that is your reading. It's a very powerful reading. Again, know that you are loved. And again, let's not get this confused with romantic love and a partnership and that kind of a partner. It is about the universal love. And your first card, again, was the High Priestess, which is wisdom, your inner voice, your higher consciousness. That is where you find it. Then that's when you start to know that you are loved yourself. Amber Lillystrom is a poet and a writer, and she says that each and every one of us, like even those people that seem to be really wretched, but we are all a once in a lifetime miracle. So own the miracle that you are, Gemini. If you have any questions, put them in the comment box. And of course, if you would like to schedule a reading with me, my email is in the box below, or it's in there somewhere. So Gemini, that is your reading. Thank you so much. And we will move on to Hello, Aries. Not Aries, oh my goodness. Libra. I have Aries in my brain today. Libra, how are you? Welcome to your reading for this Mercury retrograde. I want to just kind of get some of the Gemini cards back into the deck. And we'll pull cards for our Libra friends. So, and Gemini just had the Libra Moonology card. So let's see what these cards hold for our Libra friends. And again, since Mercury is about thoughts, you know, and it's not happy. So just be careful that you don't overwhelm yourself. A lot of our Libra friends are taking on a lot of responsibility. They could be overthinking decisions they have to make or things that they need to do. So just be aware of that, Libra. So let's see what the cards hold for Libra during this lovely Mercury retrograde right in the middle of the eclipse portal. This is, sometimes I think the universe just has this sense of humor that is just really off. New moon in Sagittarius. Lean into your Saggy friends. It says focus on the positive. But most Libras I know are pretty positive. They're pretty easygoing folks. Again, they are about balance. They are about harmony. But they can tend, Libra, you can tend to want to help and create balance and harmony for others. But you're being asked now to make sure that you do that for yourself, right? What we give out, we need to make sure we give within. So what does the tarot hold for our beautiful Libra friends during this Mercury retrograde in the middle of the eclipse portal? Sorry, I keep touching my screen because and I don't know how to stop that. I keep touching my pad because my screen keeps going dark. Maybe it's trying to tell me to get off. Maybe that's what it is. Okay, Tarot, what do you hold for our Libra friends during this Mercury retrograde phase? And you have on the root Temperance, more Sagittarius energy. Temperance is a Sagittarius card. And so is the Wheel of Fortune. So healing, moderation, balance, right? Major Arcana on the root of your deck. So really taking good care of yourself and not doing things impulsively. Oh, here we go. Three of Swords, yeah. 5 of Cups, 10 of Wands. Oh my gosh, Libra, what are you doing? 6 of Cups. We just had 10 of Pentacles. Okay. The Tower. The World. Knight of Pentacles, 9 of Wands. Okay, so I said earlier that our Libra friends, you have to make sure that the balance and harmony that you provide for others, you're providing for yourself. And here it is. You have the 3 of Swords straight out of the gate. 3 of Swords, 5 of Cups, 10 of Wands. Yeah. Overwhelming thoughts, or too many thoughts, or too much responsibility can be, it could just be draining you. I mean, they call this the heartbreak card, and it even says heartbreak on here. But I really get the feeling, Libra, that you have so much on your mind that you feel responsible to take care of so many things that you're not giving yourself a break. A 5 of Cups. So she's got 1 cup. Look, she's just kind of even, there's 2 cups face up, 2 cups down, and this last cup, like she's just pouring it out. You're just pouring yourself out. You're emptying yourself and depleting yourself, Libra. And that's, yeah. And again, Temperance is about alchemizing and balancing, pouring from 1 cup to another. But you're just pouring. We're just pouring it all out. This also could be an emotional release for some of our Libra friends. If there's any emotions that you've been holding on to for so long, you can just be purging that stuff out and just getting it out of your system. 10 of Wands, like you've been really responsible for a lot of people, for a lot of things, whether again it's at work or home. You've been carrying the burden of responsibility and it's feeling really, really heavy. The good thing is that 6 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, everything you're working on is bringing you to a place of security. There's going to be some rumblings because you have the Tower. And the Tower is going to come up and say, yeah, take care of you. Stop taking care of everything and everyone else. It's going to take those responsibilities away from you if you don't start to temper yourself. You have the World, right? Things come in cycles. You're coming to a conclusion of a very tough cycle, Libra. Knight of Pentacles. And you're starting to take a look at what is it that you want to build for yourself. What kind of life and who do you want in that life? These 3 cups, well, the 2 cups that are spilled, and the cup she's pouring out. This is letting go. And it's a painful let go, but this is letting go of the things, the situations, the people, the emotions, the thoughts that have just been way too much to carry. You have 2 cups up and they're empty, and you get to decide how to fill those cups and what energy you're going to put into them. It's the energy of safety, security, what makes you feel like you're home. Like this feels home to me. Being around this situation feels home to me. I feel safe. I feel comfortable. I feel valued. So you're going through some turbulent times. 9 of Wands, again, with a reminder. You don't have to take care of everyone else. They need to learn to take care of themselves. And again, the Tower is going to come along and kind of shake some of that stuff up. You have a situation you're going through. But remember, everything, I'm supposed to cover this up, I guess. Everything, let's do this too. Everything comes in cycles. You're coming to the end of a very tough, whether it is, I feel like this is an emotionally tough cycle for you. Whatever that is, we still have to get through the month of March. You'll be fine. Again, lean into your Sagittarius friends. Although we can be very impulsive. So maybe not. But focus on the positive. And Libras tend to be very positive anyway. And balance, right? Balance everything out. Balance out your time between yourself and whoever or whatever is pulling your focus and attention away. What are the things that bring you joy? And what are the things and help you to feel safe? And what are the things you need to dump out? 6 of Cups. Going back to when things were not complicated. When you just knew. When you just knew. Libra, that is your reading. You have a lot happening, but you're all good. If you would like any more insight on this, if you would like to schedule a reading around your personal situation, drop a note in the comments or reach out to me. Although, if you reach out to me by email and I don't respond, then put something in the comments and I'll reach back out to you, because sometimes they go to my junk mail and I never see it. So Libra, that is your reading for Mercury retrograde, and we will go on to hello Aquarius. How are you? This is your reading for Mercury retrograde in the middle of eclipse portal in the year of the fire horse. Yes, it's a lot of energy. But what's going on for our Aquarian friends? I don't know, maybe a little easier. Let's see. Last quarter moon in Pisces. Talk less and feel more. So last quarter moon in Pisces, feel more into your feelings, feel more into your intuition. But let's see what the cards hold. I'm just going to kind of give these a really good shuffle. So feel more. Yeah. So for some of you, Aquarius, that may mean meditation. And I know I say this all the time, and people reach out and say, stop saying meditation, but then don't watch, because that's always going to be one of my go-tos. Some of the most successful, grounded people have a regular meditation practice. They have some form of movement and exercise. Most do yoga. So maybe set, like I said to Gemini, set an alarm on your phone a couple times a day at a time when you're not going to be working or driving. And I know it says, close your eyes, take 5 long, slow, deep breaths in and out through your nose. Place your hand on your heart to feel. And you can do that. That brings you centered, that brings you into your feeling space. Not your emotional feeling space, but your intuitive feeling space. And I think as people, we get these things mixed up. We quantify things based on the human experience and not based on the spiritual experience. And again, that's in a video I need to do. So let's see. What do the cards hold for our Aquarian friends during this Mercury retrograde? What do they need to feel more about? What feelings are they leaning into? And a lot of these readings have been set around intuition and your inner self and your inner wisdom. And the Kabbalah tree of life has been coming up quite often. And maybe I should just start a course on that. Although I am not as well versed in that as I want to be, but maybe we will learn together. Well, let's see. Okay, Aquarius, on the root of the deck for you. The sun, look at that. The sun is considered by almost every reader to be the luckiest card in the deck. So energy, light, life, passion, heat, right? Illumination. Illumination, it's card number 19. It follows the moon card in the major arcana. So feel more sunlight, feel more of the things. So let's see, all your cards are face down. So let me just pull them up. Yeah, I said meditation, and you have the 4 of Swords as your first card. And as recovery, quiet time, rest. And it's a rest from your thoughts. The 4 of Swords hanging over her head. 9 of Pentacles, beautiful. The Magician, alchemy. Queen of Cups, that just came out. 3 of Swords, that just came out. King of Swords, clarity. 6 of Cups, that came out for all 3 air signs today. Queen of Swords, 6 of Pentacles, and the Sun. You have 2 major arcanas, and the rest are minor arcanas. So this is not life-shattering moments, but definitely big moves happening. 4 of Swords, right? And again, I talked about meditation, and then you get the card of 4 of Swords, which is rest. Resting from your thoughts. Look at that. The swords are pointing down towards her, and she's separating herself from her thoughts. Because, again, our thoughts keep going. Our mind doesn't stop. Even in yoga and meditation, people say all the time, I can't stop my mind, and you're not supposed to. Your mind is meant to do what it's doing, and it's doing it perfectly. The thing is to take your mind and to train it to be in the moment of what you're doing. So when we slow down our breath and someone's counting, inhale for 1, 2, 3, exhale for 1, 2, 3, your mind goes to what's being said in the moment. It brings you in the moment. So taking a break from those thoughts, wherever it is they're taking you to, because like, what you really want, right, is comfort. You want abundance. You want security. And you want, dare I say, recognition for everything that you've accomplished. For everything that you've accomplished. And allow yourself, Aquarius, to embrace what you've done. Allow yourself to celebrate you. The Magician, alchemizing, creating, right? Knowing you have all, it says on here, power, action, skill. You have all of the tools within you. You have everything that you need to create. But to tap into these tools, they're not external tools, they're internal tools. You have to stop the chatter out here in the world and in here and here to lean more into your intuition. Queen of Cups, she's ultimate intuition, right? 3 of Swords, King of Swords. Stop letting your thoughts get in the way. Stop talking yourself in and out of things that are hurtful to you. And let your emotions and your intuition guide you into clarity. King of Swords and Queen of Swords. Not necessarily divine counterparts, but balancing energies. This is not only about getting clear, but this is about creating structure. And look, you're an air sign. I'm a fire sign. Like, we don't do structure. So use the energy of Saturn, which rules Capricorn, which is the ultimate of structure and stability. It is in the sign of Aries right now, which is fire, heat, passion, and allowing the structure not to let the wind and the fire like go rampant, but to funnel that energy into what you want. You want to illuminate, you want to be recognized, and you want to feel like you matter. Tuning in and leaning into your inner gifts is the way there. Getting clear, King and Queen of Swords, getting clear on your heart's desire. Getting really clear on your heart's desire. Keeping it, 2 sixes, Cups and Pentacles. Again, Cups and Pentacles are balancing energies. This is about giving and receiving. And almost not being stingy, but being very selective on what you share and with who. What resources of yourself are you sharing in the world? And then who are you sharing it with? Because not everyone is entitled to know everything. I mean, I'm going through some things right now that nobody knows about. I'm working on a few things now. I mean, I say things on here like I'm going to do a video on this and that, but there's other things that just no one knows about. And they'll find out like when I'm ready. So you can decipher like what you share and with who. Because when we're going through these transformative times, when we're finding the magic within, when you're rising to a place, and for some of you, this might be moving up in dare I say, like social status or financial status. For me, that they are different. For some people, they are not. But your financial status may be elevating you to a whole new level. So you want to be careful, like who you share that with. Again, talk less. Talk less. Not everyone needs to know. Not everyone deserves to know. And just let how the way you move through life speak for you. You're being illuminated in a really big way, Aquarius. I just cannot wait to see like what you guys are going through. By the end of March, you will start to feel and even see a big shift in your daily life and in the way you present yourself. You're going to be presenting yourself, not that you're not already confident, because you are. But the way you move is going to be different and people are going to take notice. Aquarius, that is your reading. So our are air signs. Thank you for joining me for this little mini reading for Mercury retrograde. If you have any questions, put them in the comment box. Always, I'm available to you, and I send you light and love. Enjoy your retrograde.